Hello everyone, welcome to my Marilyn Monroe edition. Today I will be recreating one of her looks. At least I will attempt. So I have everything ready. I have my wig here, as you can see, and my makeup. And why Marilyn Monroe? Marilyn Monroe is first of all because she has turned 100 years old on the 1st of June. She was born 1st of June 1926 in Los Angeles, California, United States. Marilyn Monroe was an American actress and model known for playing comic blonde bombshell characters. She became one of the most popular sex symbols of 1950s and early 1960s. So she was one of the most photographed women of that time, and people love transforming themselves into Marilyn Monroe. But I think, having done once before in the past, I thought it would be really nice just to pay this tribute to Marilyn Monroe. So I have all my brushes ready, all my makeup, it's just ready to go. So a little bit about our features. As you can see, I am nothing like Marilyn. I do not have the same features, and most definitely I'm not blonde, but I have my wig to save the day. So what I will do is I'm going to start with eyes. So recreating the eyes. First of all, I have hooded eyes, and looking at Marilyn Monroe's eyes, in some pictures it could be confusing. In some pictures I have noticed that she has hooded eyes, and then in some other pictures there is enough eyelid space for her to create that droopy look. But I'm going to attempt my best with my eyes. First of all, I will make sure I have no moisture left on my eye, on the top of my eyes. I'm just going to wipe everything around. So not to bore you, first of all, I would use some concealer and make sure it just goes all, not too much, just a tiny bit, because we don't want too oily eyelid, because we will have to make sure our eyeshadow or whatever it is that we're going to apply on the top of it stays in place. So I would usually go all around the eye and make sure it's all done. The one as well. So the base is ready. Now we'll move on to applying a little bit of an eyeshadow, just to smooth Vive eyeshadow palette, using these colors, mostly the white color, which is very appropriate.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, alone, I wanna be.
So I created the base. Next, I'm taking a very, very thin brush, and I'm gonna use one of these top shade. It's really warm, and there you go. Just a little bit. So I would say that I could use this shade as well, but somehow that goes grey on me, so I'm not going to attempt it. And I think the reason maybe because I have a darker eyelid, so just going to stick to this one. So looking straight, I'm gonna have to just go, or maybe just tilt back a little bit, tiny bit. So you can see there is this crease that appears out of nowhere. Can you see that? That's what I want to do. I just want to grab here, make a dot in here, and then just bring it down here, but not too messy. So, and just connect the dots. Trust the process, because I will still have to diffuse this. There you go. I'm just going to attempt to do this all the way down here. So I opened up my eye over the top of my eyelid. So doing the same thing on the other side.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by.
It looks rough. Then I would take slightly fluffier brush, and I'm just going to show you the comparisons between these two, so you can see this one is going to be a blending brush. Then I will add fluffier brush in order to make it look really nice. Let's just attempt to brush this.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you.
Then I would take the previous brush that I used to create the base, and I just go over it by correcting any edges that I do feel like I might have overdone it, or I went beyond and above of the crease. So just trying to sort of like make this eyelid space, leave the space for further application. Just going to smudge the edges, just smooth the edge and leave the cap in here. I would not go anywhere down here because I do not have that much of an eyelid space as much as she has. So the next step would be, which is called similar to a cut crease. I can use white paint and then go over it. So the white paint I'm going to use is from this an NYX, so it's like my Halloween kit things. I'm going to use this white base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flat brush, as you can see, and I'm going to take a little bit of this white, not much, just to make sure, and somehow it's a bit, and I'm just going to create the cut crease. And then fill in. But what I would say to do is just to leave closer to eyes, this area, tiny bit cleaner, because I'm going to apply an eyeliner in just a minute. Cutting the crease. I literally just, as you can see where my eyeball is, like I just kind of push it inside and I just go over it, because that way it will create the depth of the eye, as again I'm not going anywhere or much closer to my eyelash line, because I still have to apply an eyeliner. And then what I would do is I would just actually take this all the way out here and a little bit over the board down here for now. So let's just do this on both sides. And I'm not rubbing all over it, I'm just doing tapping motions because you want to pat it on the eyelid. Just taking a little bit more, not too much, don't want to overdo it. Just patting more. Because the reason I'm doing a white paint is by doing an intensive research and according to the sources that I have been looking into, she did use a white paint. I might be wrong, and if you are a Marilyn Monroe expert, please write in the comments if this is right or if it's true. But I think it's working out pretty good for me. So coming all the way down here. All the way down here. I will go back and blend it again. For now, I will not do anything over it other than just trying now to do an eyeliner. So I'm going to take this really, really thin Morphe brush. I don't know if you can see how fine this tip is. As well as this is just going to be another tip. Look how thin this is, like a razor sharp. I think I'm going to use this one. Let's use this one, and then I'll go back to the other one. So first of all, in order to draw a correct line, I would just create a base for the liner with an eyeshadow, and I'm going to demonstrate this. So let's just pick up some of this, not too much, and let's just stretch my eye, look down, tilt my head back, looking down, and as close as possible to the lash line, but just bringing it down, not out, not up, because we want to create the droopy eye. And because I do not have enough eyelid space, I would just go tiny bit closer. Not much here, but on the top in here I would add tiny bit more and less on the tip. And I think that's sort of like the secret of that droopy eye. So I had to study a little bit. Anyone expert, as I said, please drop a message, please leave a comment. So what happened is here, just gonna demonstrate it again. So it's sort of like a thinner here, then it's a little, let me just pick up a little more. So thinner here. In some pictures it's thicker, but I think the one that I had a look and the one that possibly suited me the most was tiny bit over here, which I'm gonna wipe a little bit. Might overdone a little bit more in here. Let's just correct this. Might have moved a little bit of an eyeshadow, but I'll always correct it. So trust the process. Trust the process. So, and it just comes out here, because it's like continuation of your eye. If you just draw the line, this is where it should stop. It drops. The same, you just carry on and it stops here. So then what I have to do is just to go over that line with a black eyeliner, which I will be back in a second. So to my knowledge, they used a gel eyeliner to emphasize her eyes, sort of like make it darker. So I'm going to use this gel eyeliner, or whatever it's called, tattoo eyeliner by Maybelline. I haven't used it in so long. I feel like it might be a bit dry. So I'm going to use both ends of this brush because this is an amazing brush. So I'm just going to just tap a little bit. I feel like I'm in 1950s.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you.
So eyes are almost done. We still have some work to do. So what I've noticed under her eyes, there is this little shadow as the eyelash shadow just been created underneath her eye. So we're going to create that little triangle or kind of a straight line. I'm going to use the same shade. I'm just going to go here. So what happens is it went down here and just a little triangle dropped in here. First, as I said, I'm going to do the drawing. So it's a sort of like a straight, like a liner like this, straight, like that. So we're leaving the gap in here in order to fill it up with a whiter liner. I'm going to use a brown eyeliner in order to make it softer look under eye. So let's do this.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you.
Then I would just use a bit of a top eyeshadow just to smooth the look of it under my eye. So it will look more natural, rather like a shadow, and then dust off all the rest that is not supposed to be there. Okay, just taking a little bit more of that. And leaving an illusion of a powder. So let's go back and just dust off all the excess. Now I'm going to use a white eyeliner and just go inside of the eye. And it's a proper, like a bone white. Is it bone white? It's a white eyeliner, by the way. It's from Catrice and it's waterproof, and it's what it says. Just the color is. There you go. It says a tweed white. Okay. Let's see if I can. And then I can see that that white has been extended out down here. Maybe just a little bit less. More of a straight line. Trust the process. Now I'm going to apply mascara. Then I'm going to do half eyelashes, and I'm going to use a Lure one for under lash natural seamless look. It's been a favorite of mine. And let's do this.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you.
Now I will apply eyelashes.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you,
So the eyelash, her eyelash is very wispy, so you can see it's just coming out. So let's do the other eye.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone.
So that's eyelashes, so they're looking down. Let's move on to face. All I'm going to do is now just to apply a foundation and a concealer, and then we're going to do a nose contour and the iconic lips. So let's do it.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you.
So for the nose contour, I'm going to be using L'Oreal Infallible 24 Face Sculptor. So Marilyn Monroe's nose had this little sort of like a button, like sort of like a tip. So what I would do is, I watched quite a lot of creators of her look just do this. So I'm just going to attempt, I think I remember how to do it, but I think what I usually do is I would just lift this up, and there is sort of like a borderline where here, and I'm gonna just go over it by doing this, and then just follow the shadow around my nose and just make it more round, including the tip. Then I would drop a little bit down here, because if you have a look on the side of her nose, it looked like a kind of straight, but when she looked straight into a camera, it looked like a little button thing, a button nose, and trying to do like a more of an arch in here. So let's blend this now. So I'm gonna use this Morphe fluffy brush. Let's do it.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo.
So that nose contour is done. So we are going to move on to doing the facial contour and finishing with a blush and a glow and everything to do with the lips. So lips in the end. So let's do the contour. So for the contour, I'm using NYX bronzer in shade Buttercup. Light neutral, probably just light neutral. Just to say that we can see that her face was really well sculpted, especially here. So I would put quite a lot of emphasis just to make sure I create enough shadow here, just to create the depth. So let's do this.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone.
So for the blush, she used sort of pinky, corally. In some pictures it's all different, but I think that most of it, I would say it would be a pinky one. So let's just take the same from the palette, because I can use this for my face, and it's her face is glowy, and I am going to add that glow. But first of all, this is the closest I could find to the picture. I don't think I had a similar shade, or maybe I would look properly, but it was just touch of it, you know. It was not much, but the front part of her face, it stayed light. So the blush was kind of like a further back on the cheeks, and obviously I will go over it with some, I'm gonna do too much because I don't want to ruin the look. So I'm gonna go over it with a clean brush and just smooth this edge, because what I'm gonna do in a minute might shock some of you, but I'm going to apply a highlighter over my face, because she had this glow even all over her face. So like it was all just shiny, but it's just very, very bright. So first of all, let me just brighten a little bit more in here and where I feel like I need to. So bright face. And then I'm taking Catrice highlighter, and I'm gonna go over it with this beautiful shade with my clean brush again, and I'm going to create that glow all over my face. And then we do the lips, including here.
I wanna be loved by you, just you.
Yes, I used highlighter all over my face. But the one thing I'm going to do for sure is take a little bit of a loose powder, and one of the Wet n Wild, by the way, loose powders, that is going to brighten around my eyes even further, and just top here. The final look, obviously, is going to be the coronation number, which is her lips. There we go. So for the lips, I'm using several lipsticks. That's Fenty Beauty. I'm going to use Guerlain or Guerlain Kiss Kiss liquid, as well as the Giorgio Armani tiny little bit of a, that's my gift thingy. And I'm going to top up with a lip injection, which is going to plump up the whole thing. Let's do lips. Taking two different lip liners, Lift the liner by L'Oreal and Milani. This is Lift the liner is, it says main character. There you go, found it. And the other one is going to be Milani True Red. There we go, True Red. So let's try them both. So I'm just going to show you. That is Milani. I'm more of a, I think I'm going to go with the lifter ones. This one is not quite. I think I used two just because I could. First I'm going to go with a shade. But the way her lips were done are, it's just sort of like a starting from the middle and going all out here.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Be-do. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you.
So let's move on to red. This one is uncensored. So maybe just shake it really well before and apply this. Looks like the real red to me. I will just go over the lip liner.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Be-do. I wanna be kissed by you, just you.
So this lipstick dries matte, but we don't want matte, so I'm gonna go over it with a liquid one.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you.
Then I will use more lipstick because I think she was using, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 shades of red.
Else but you. I wanna be loved by.
And I will top up with the lip plumbing injection, which is from Too Faced. I love these ones.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Be-do. I wanna be kissed by you, just you.
So I'm gonna come back with a wig on. You just wait. So I'm gonna show you a little bit behind the scene. I think that this is how I did my hair. I just tied it really tight at the back, and then I'm going to use this. I just need to find a right space for it to go. Let's just try. There we go. Okay, so her side sort of like started quite from like a deep, like a lower line. It wasn't middle, it was just lower lines. So there we go. There we go. That is the wig. By the way, it's from Smithy's. It's quite affordable, and just says blonde bombshell wig. It looks so much nicer on a picture. I tried to make it work, but this is how I put my wig on. In case if you're interested, I didn't do anything else. Just wear a wig, because if I do too many layers under my wig, I feel really hot really fast. So that's how I applied my wig. There we go. Trying to cover my dark hair by just tucking this in, and tiny bit too puffy in here. There we go. All done. I'm ready for the great reveal.
I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be
So this is the final look. My tribute to Marilyn Monroe.
kissed by you, just you.
Just a bit of a close-up so you can see
I wanna be loved
my bedroom eyes.
just you, nobody else.
Voila. I know this is not the best wig. I know. I just had to adjust it quite a lot. But this is the best I have at the moment, and just a little appreciation to a beauty icon that is Marilyn Monroe. And happy birthday to Marilyn Monroe. would have, if she was alive, she would have been 100 years old. I think she would still be beautiful. Yeah. There we go. I'm gonna close up for you. And I'm gonna bring my lights even lower so you can see. There we go. There we go. Back up. There we go. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked my transformation. And I shall see you in the next one. But I will include some of my old transformations for you as well to watch it. And a little reel. So there we go. Bye bye.
Kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you alone. Boop-boop-be-doo. I wanna be kissed by you, just you, nobody else but you. I wanna be loved by you, just you, nobody else but you.